remember a few years ago we had the conference finals, and you asked us in Orlando. You were talking about Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
What percentage of where he's at? Mm-hmm. And you looked at me and Kenny, because Kenny, we both said he's about half. Even though he led that team to the final, like
half what?
Half up to his capabilities.
At that time.
At that time.
So you thought he could have much more improvement.
Much more improvement. He hasn't gotten any better.
He also had back surgery.
I know that. No, but I'm talking about as Ernie. He don't even know how to post up. First of all, he's a very good player. He's a great rebounder and a great shot blocker. But offensively, he hasn't gotten better. You notice how he gets 1 or 2 offensive fouls a game? Because he don't know how to post up. He posts up with his arms way down here. You watch great players post up. They know you get your arm up here. You don't swing your arms and things like that.
Yeah, I'm going to be back. As a matter of fact, you don't make that decision now. You say, let me sign a week earlier. So, when the talks first came up, he should have already told him, yes, I'm coming back. It ain't no I'm going to think about it. Being that he's going to think about it, makes me lean towards he's going to do what he did in Orlando. He's going to, play with people. When you're dealing with a great organization like the Lakers, they have a tough decision to make this summer because, if you're not going to come back, let us know so we can make some moves.
Well,
so, my thing is.
I think he can.
So, my
you think
thing
he what?
Is, my thing is if he's going to come back, he should just say, I'm going to come back. Because I've been in this situation before and I always consider myself a true businessman. I never played with people. If I wanted to stay, I'm telling you I'm staying. If I wanted to leave, let's say trade me.
Well, I think that he has to stay. Because, like you said, you're in a great organization. You're in an organization where people are fighting to get to, and you're there already. Secondly, if he leaves again, then what we heard in Orlando and what we might have heard in the rumblings in Los Angeles, it's not them, it is him. So he's the problem, because if he has to leave, then he's the problem. And if he stays and he fights it out, sometimes, Ernie, the best thing is fighting things through. And you're going to get $30 million more by staying at that organization, arguably the best franchise in basketball history, other than the Boston Celtics, in the long run. What would make you leave? What would make Kevin Garnett leave the Boston Celtics? There's no reason to ever want to leave unless they kick you out of there. There's no reason for Shaq really didn't want to leave Los Angeles. It was almost like a force that he had to leave. But if he had his choice and everything was, he's going to say the best place you've ever played in your life is
LA.
Los Angeles.
But I would say this as a basketball player. When LeBron James became, in the conversation, in my opinion, with Michael Jordan, that's the greatest basketball player ever, is when he went and spent some time with Hakeem Olajuwon. And because the only thing he was missing, people talk about all this stuff in his game. The only thing James did to me was change his game. He's learned how to post up, because that took these little guys out. When he became a post-up player, it changed his entire overall.
He did. Dwight went to
Hakeem.
But I'm saying he needs to go do it some more, Ernie.
Yeah, but that's not going to
And
work.
it doesn't have to even go to Hakeem. He can go. He got Kareem there in L.A. Listen, Kevin McHale's the best player I ever played against. If you could spend any big guy who comes into the NBA, if I could spend a week with Kevin McHale or somebody like that, I'm surprised. Amari did it last year. I'm like, why would you wait till your 8th or 10th year in the league to do that? You should learn to do that stuff your first couple years in the league. And I would ask Dwight, who I like a lot as a person now, but he ain't half the player he could be.
What do you think? What do you think the Lakers are thinking right now as an organization about his return to LA and how much he should be paid?
They have a big decision to worry about. There's some amnesty conversation, there's some salary cap conversation. So, they have a tough situation with him. And I'm agree with Reggie. Like, if you amnesty one of the greatest players to ever play for the Lakers, I think that'd be
Kobe. You're talking about?
Yeah, Kobe. I think that'd be a terrible move. But hold on, to make a point on your Hakeem thing, I don't think Dwight and Hakeem are similar players. What made Hakeem great was his footwork and his heart. First thing Dwight needs to do is change his attitude. Dwight is a power player. He needs to get some power moves. You know what? This is his 7th, 8th year, and I'm disappointed that he doesn't have a go-to move to where he can score every time. He needs a go-to move that he can score every time, and then the rest is just heart and determination. I admit, it was always guys that had more moves than me, had great moves than me, but I knew that I was a power player, so I had to create ways to get easy buckets. And the first thing I did was run down the middle of the floor and post up and yell and say, give it to me before you can front and back me.
Yeah.
Now, after that, we come down and set up, see how you play me. I'm going to that one bounce jump hook. That didn't work. I'm going with the boom boom with this big ass drop step, put the bowl in your mouth and dunk it. So
I got that one time. I would have blocked that one time.
Yo, you ain't blocked nothing. So he needs like 2 or 3 moves that's gonna help him score. And, but again, first thing he needs to do is just change his attitude. I said this a long time ago. It's a guy there named Bill Burker. Because I used to be like Dwight every now and then. People used to hack me. I used to do stupid stuff. I used to get texts. Bill Burker, Phil Jackson, and my father, Phil Harrison, told me the same thing. He said, do you see Kareem complaining? No, Kareem went out and dominated. He won championships. Do you see Wilt Chamberlain complaining? It's not like he's the first guy that's going through it. We all had to go through it. The way to combat that and defeat that is to just go out and dominate, period.
And let me say this one thing about what Ron Artest said. First of all, he's 100% wrong. They bring the same old geezers back to L.A. next year.
It is not a championship team.
It's not a championship team. They're just going to break down again because the NBA season, it's a young man's game. And I like Ron Artest, but for him to think they can bring all them old geezers back next year,